Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Please. I salute Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, the destroyer of the demons Kamsa and Chanura, the dear darling of Mother Devaki, and the Guru of the entire universe. We salute him again and again. Om, peace, peace, peace. Sorry, we have some trouble, so we could not enter in time from computer problem, arrangement trouble. So we'll start reading our Srimad Bhagavatam, and we were in the book number 8 and chapter number 7 we shall start. The story was that was the gods and the demons. They were trying to charm the ocean and taking the snake, big, what is called the serpent, Nagaraj, the king of snake. So to charm so that they're making that as the rope and the Mandar mountain as the rod. So now, Sri Shukadeva here in chapter 7 we start today. Verse number 1, the emergence of the poison of Kalakuta. While churning, not only the poison came out, and that was almost everyone participating in both the demon side and God side. They are overwhelmed with the Kalakuta, this poison, and how what God did it at that time. God's help came. We'll read that story. So now starting then book number 8, chapter 7 and verse number 1. Shri Shukadeva said, then they requested Vasuki. Who is the Vasuki? The Lord of serpents, to act as the churning rope. On the understanding that Vasuki also too would get a share of that Amrita nectar, which is the result of this enterprise. With great joy, these gods and demons, both of them jointly, wound the serpent round the mountain and began churning. Srihari held the head of the serpent rope and the devas lined up after him. So one side, the devas headed by Srihari. The leaders of the Asuras, they refused to approve this act of Lord Hari. Quote, he said, we who are famous by the nobility of our birth and by our actions, we are Asuras, but we are noble people. We are famous for our strength and power, and who are all well instructed by the Vedas also. We shall not hold the tail side, which is an inferior part of the serpent. So you are going to the head side. That is not fair. We are also equally powerful, so we should get to the head side, thought the Daityas. The Lord saw that the Daityas stood still silent. After cogitating thus, they are thinking that we shall not take the tail side, but we'll go to the face side of the great Vasuki serpent. Then what happened? Smilingly at this, Srihari, along with the Devas, left the head of the serpent. So then their side began, thus determined that Devas and Asuras, they are all offspring of the one Rishi called Kashyapa. They began to churn the ocean with all their might. So the Devas now came to the tail side, and the demons or asuras went to the face, holding the face and the whole part of the body that side. And now they started churning the Mandaro, big mountain. Uh, in the process, what happens? The Mandara mountain is such a heavy mountain. While he is churning rod, it began to sink in the water because there is no support. The rod should have some support upon which the churning will be done. Otherwise, the mountain by its own weight, it started going down to the waters. Then he says, O king, O Skian of Pandu's line, though these powerful beings held up the mountain with all their strength, but it started sinking by its sheer weight. So though they are powerful and they wanted to hold the mountain in position, but the mountain is such a weight, it started going on sinking. Very much disappointed to see that their effort was of no avail against providence, their faces droop into utter dejection. So everyone become very dissatisfied that they cannot even keep the mountain to hold out. It is sinking because of its weight. When confronted with this providential obstacle, the Lord, whose power is limitless and whose will always becomes true, assumes the form of a wonderful tortoise. A tortoise, God Lord took the form of a huge tortoise to support the Mandara mountain in the ocean. And they assumed the form of a wonderful tortoise of huge proportions and entered into the water and jacked up the mountain. The mountain being thus lifted, the Devas and the Asuras resumed the journey. So when the mountain was then supported by this big tortoise on his back, then they again started churning the mountain, ocean churning. As if the rod, the mountain, is placed on another island in the sea. Now, 10th verse. The primeval tortoise of infinite strength bore the mountain on its back and felt its whirling movement as mere scratch as the Devas and Asuras churned with all the strength of their arms. So it is a heavy weight of the Mandara mountain, and churning makes it so difficult, but to this big tortoise, primeval tortoise of infinite strength, as it were, it matters little for that tortoise. So the tortoise, where as if little scratch is happening here and there, then it is nothing for him, the tortoise. In this rank of Devas and the Asuras, Mahavishnu then appeared in the form of a Deva and Asura respectively. So when this churning was going on, the Lord God Vishnu appeared in the form of a Deva and an Asura. In both sides, one side Deva, one side Asura. See, same Lord become two. In the order to encourage the Asuras and encourage the gods also, so that they don't get tired and give up into frustration. So the Lord Mahavishnu appeared in the form of God Deva and Asura, Deva Asura, respectively. How? Why? In order to encourage and embolden them to continue the churning. He also entered into the serpent Vasuki as anesthesia in order to shield it from the torture of the churning. The rope is the big Vasuki serpent, so he cannot withstand so much of push and pull. So Narayana entered into three areas. One appear as a one another Deva, and encouraging the Devas to go on uploading, okay, move on. And Asuras, he became Asura also. And also third, he entered into the Vasuki uh, as anesthesia, so that he does not feel the torture of the churning. When the movement of the churning seemed to upset the balance of the mountain, now they are churning. Naturally, again, the balance goes this way, right way, left side. Then Lord Mahavishnu stood on its top, assuming a form of as huge as another mountain. So the Lord Narayana, Vishnu, Mahavishnu, he stood on the top of the mountain, and the leaning side, he as if another counter load he gave on the top, and then this balance came to the churning rod again. So Mahavishnu stood on its top, assuming a form as huge as another mountain, and with one of his 1,000 arms, he pressed down the mountain to its proper place. So it again made it in position. The celestial, headed by Brahma, was very glad, and they showered their offering flowers of joy. So I showered flowers upon him as they stood above and viewed the scene. So Lord Narayana was doing this miracle of standing on the mountain, at the top of the mountain, to stop bending in one direction and make it vertical. Now, 13th verse. Now the Kalakuta came. What is that? The Lord strengthened the resolve of all by this manifestation of His in many ways. So the Lord appeared in three ways, as I heard, not just now. One on the become one God, Deva, another become Asura, and then entered into the Nagaraj, Vasuki. So, and now the Lord strengthened the resolve of all of this manifestation of His many ways above the mountain, pressing it down and underneath, supporting it as tortoise in the hearts of Asuras and Devas as strength, and in Vasuki as insensitiveness. So now the Lord, the same God Mahavishnu, it is not the power of anyone. It is only one Lord God, His strength. So to prove that how Vedantic idea given here, that the Lord strengthened the resolve of all the manifestation. What are the manifestation? One, mountain, pressing it in down. Therefore, underneath means the ground on which it is the tortoise, supporting it, the tortoise, and in the hearts of the Asuras and Devas as strength and power to continue this churning, and in the Vasuki rope as insensitiveness means he will not feel the pain. So, with the furious abandon of drunkards, they churn the ocean with the mountain with all their might and main, causing wild consternation among the aquatic creatures. So now we can imagine the gods, so many gods, they are powered together, and so many asuras, they are powered together, and they're churning the Mandara mountain. A huge turmoil will come in the ocean, and the aquatic animals all are lifted from the ocean water. Now the asuras were holding the head of Basuki. Now we can understand another problem coming. The head was held by the asuras, and their asura leaders like Paulama, Kaleya, Mahabali, these are the names of asuras. In course of time became scorched and faded like the sorrel tree in a forest fire on being exposed to the unbearable heat and smoke issuing from the eyes, face, and breath of the serpent Basuki. So Basuki is now being tormented this way, turning as a rope, going this way, that way. His eyes become bright and all poison is coming out from his mouth, and the entire environment becomes totally unbearable. And the devas too, because the asuras were holding the snake, mouth of the snake. That is one thing. So they got the more troublesome poisons. And the devas too, though they are in the tail side, they had their luster of effaced by flaming breath of the serpent. The same something coming on the entire atmosphere is getting polluted. And the devas also getting that same, and their faces are becoming, instead of bright, they become faded. The clothes, wraths, and coats all turn grey with smoke. Just then, the clouds. So God then created a cloud, and which were under the Lord's control, rained a shower over them all, and the breeze, cool breeze by the waves of the ocean fanned them. So now, by God's grace, rain came and some wind, so that both the asuras and devas got fresh energy back. When no Amrita appeared, in spite of churning by the devas, now they're turning so heavily, but still no nectar has come out. Then the Lord himself began to churn it very powerfully. So the Lord then added his strength to make the churning more quick. 17th verse. Blue in color like rain cloud, and now describing the Narayana's body form. Blue in color like a rain cloud, wearing garments that shone like gold, and earrings that glowed like lightning, with locks of attractive hair all scattered, wearing the floral wreath on the chest. These are all the description of Narayana, his body, the dress, his garland in the neck, the description, and how the Lord Narayana looks like. The Lord shone like another mountain as he churned with the churning rod of mountain Mandaro, holding the serpent cord of Basuki with his four victorious arms. So Lord Narayana had joined in the mission which the Devas and Asuras were continuing. 18th verse. From the sea, full of aquatic creatures. What are the aquatic creatures? Like timi fish, sea elephants, alligators, whales. The violent churning threw up various kinds of fish, amphibians, until the virulent and notorious poison hala called Kalakuto emerged. So now all these aquatic animals are running out of the ocean because of the heavy churning. They're disturbed. Not only that, big sea elephants, alligators, whales, etc., but also the Kalakuto, the poison, heavy poison, notorious poison called halahala, or another name is Kalakuta, that started coming out of the Basuki's face. Its fiercely penetrating and fatal fumes spread everywhere quickly, above, below, on all the sides. O king, terror-stricken and defenseless, all the Prajapatis and all the celestial hurried to take shelter at the feet of Lord Sadasiva. Now, seeing this situation, all the gods, all the participants in this mission of churning the ocean, they are so fiercely fatal fumes pervading everywhere, they got terror stricken and they have no power how to protect themselves. So they went, Prajapati means Brahma and others, all ran to Lord Shiva. And what they found? They went to Shiva's abode and they saw that they found Shiva established on the Kailasha along with Mother Devi for the good of the world. He was dear to the sages because of his practicing meditation, conducive to bestowing the blessings, bliss of salvation on the contemplatives. So he saw, all of them saw Mahadeva is in the Kailasa and he's in his deep meditation. And he did this meditation for the good of others, as also other contemplative people can follow him. So they prostrated, the Devas all prostrated before him and recited the following hymn. Now, they all praised Lord Shiva. What he said? Prajapatis. Who are the Prajapatis? Brahma and others. Prajapati said, verse number 21, O Lord of the Lords, you are the great divinity, soul and protector of the worlds. Save us from this poison that threatens the life of the three worlds. So now we are trying to get the Amrita or nectar, but now what has happened? This poison has come out. Hala hala or Kala Kuta has come out, and it will cause destruction to the three worlds. Therefore, you are the master of the destinies of all beings. So, Lord Shiva, you are the master of all destinies and of their bondage and liberation. So, wise men worship you as the teacher and remover of the sufferings of those who seek shelter in you. So, you are there to release these people from their suffering who take refuge in you. You give shelter to them. So, all pervading Shiva, when you, who are all pure awareness, self-awareness, do will to create, preserve, and dissolve this universe, you do them assume your power of Maya, which is threefold aspects of Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. So you are Brahman, you are absolute consciousness, Satchidananda. So you, taking your Maya power, the power of Maya, threefold aspect of the Maya is Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, in association with which you come to be known as Vishnu, Brahma, and Shiva. Now, you are the subtle truth of Brahman. You, Shiva, you are nobody than but you are that Brahman, the Lord and the soul of the worlds, out of which has originated the universe in its unmanifested causal and its manifested gross condition. So, under your power, Brahman, you are Brahman, and under your power with the Maya, outcome has come out, the universe in its unmanifested causal form. You go sometimes and you become manifest. You travel from manifest to unmanifest. That is your fall. 25. You are, O Shiva, you are the source of the Vedas, constituted of the sounds as also of the worlds. So you are the source of the all Vedas, four Vedas, which is constituted of the sound and the worlds. You manifest as prana. In the world, you, the same Satchidananda, have manifested as prana, the vital energy, sense organs, substances, and qualities. You are the I sense. You are the I behind everyone's ego. You are the time, great time. You are the sacrifice. You are the truth and righteousness. You are Prakriti with the three gunas are said to exist in you. So all the three gunas primarily, it stays with you. You are the source of all. 26th verse, 7.26. Of you who are the embodiment of all divinities, fire is the face. So when we see the fire, it is not fire, it is your face, the earth, the lotus feet. When you look at the earth, it is nothing, your feet. Time is the movement. Anything we see moving, that movement is time. The quarters, the cars, the ocean as the tongue. Oh, 20. So you are everything. That they will continue to say. Let us read whatever the praise. It is a praise to Lord Shiva. Oh, worshipful Lord Shiva, 27 verse. The sky is your navel, the wind, thy breath. The sun is thy eyes, water, thy semen, the power supporting everything high and low. That is your ego. The moon, that is your mind. And the heaven, your head. 28 verse. O embodiment of Vedas, the oceans from your abdomen, the oceans have come out of your abdomen. The mountains are your bones. The plants and creepers, your hair. The Vedic meters, Gayatri, Trishtuva, Rushtuva, these are different meters of the uh, Vedic chanting. You are those all. You are the seven bodily constituents, dhatus, sapta dhatu, and all the dharmas, righteousness in the heart. That is your heart. O Shiva, the five secret mantras. Five secret mantras are what? Tatpurusha mantra, Aghora mantra, Saddhajata mantra, Vamadeva mantra, Ishana mantra, from which the other 38 mantras arose. Your five faces are they. That is, through the five faces, all the sacred mantras have come out. The supreme truth called Shiva is verily the self-effulgent being consciousness. So the supreme truth, which we call Shiva, is nothing but the self-effulgent Satchidananda. The waves of the sea of adharma, like pride, and the rest are thy shadows. Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, the constituents of the Prakriti, forming the basis of creation, are thy eyes. That means what is doing all these verses saying that whatever we see in the universe, it is your eyes, your head, your hand, your feet, your navel, your ear, your eye. All these are you. And the eyes and this primordial Veda or metrical composition is the illumining glances of you, the source of all knowledge and scriptures. Now 31 verse, 7th chapter. O Sadasiva, that light supernal, which constitutes your real form, that means your eternal form, Satchidananda form, is what is called non-dual Brahman. Very beautiful. It is O Sadasiva, the light supernal, supreme knowledge, which constitutes your real form, that means Satchidananda form, that is non-dual Brahman. As non-dual Brahman, you are not accessible to Brahma, Vishnu, Indra, and other divinities. For in that supreme state of yours, there is no touch of gunas or prakriti. So in the transcendental realm, when you are Satchidananda, in that Satchidananda condition, there is no God, goddess, no creation, nothing. There is no touch of gunas or prakriti. 32. For you who could view with indifference even the reduction to ashes of the whole universe of your own creation, a spark of fire coming out of your eyes, at the time of dissolution. So when you want to destroy the creation, with a little fire in your from the eyes come, and that can make the whole universe vanish into the ashes. It is no matter of praise to be extolled by reference to acts of your act of yours calculated to eliminate evil. So to eliminate evil. So it is we are that there is no other master like you who are Lord Shiva. Such as the destruction of the Cupid. You destroyed the Cupid of Tripuras, of Jama, the angel of death, of Daksha's sacrifice and poison Kalakuta. So, therefore, there are some who indulge in meaningless criticism of you. O Shiva, some people do not understand your glory. So what they do is that they sometimes criticize you. That because you are always seen with Uma, because you are not carrying the whole world as it were. You are staying with Lord Uma, Mother Uma, and in the Himalayas. So in so you are intensely attached to her, and that because you move about in cremation ground, you are the fierce and uncouth. So people criticize you. The Lord Shiva, he does not care for anything. He is staying with his divine consort Uma in the Himalayas. And then when he comes down, he roams in the cremation ground and with the good ghosts and goblins. So this type of interpretation they give about Shiva. Those who speak like that about you, O Shiva, who are ever immersed in samadhi, but actually you are immersed in samadhi, and whose your feet constitute the object of contemplation even for the greatest teachers absorbed in bliss of Atman. Those who are absorbed in the non-dual Brahman, they meditate on your feet, holy feet, are shameless person. So these people, those who criticize, they are shameless people who know nothing about the cosmic sport that you are playing. So even divinity like Brahma is not available to grasp the true nature of your transcendent self. Huh? Even Brahma, he cannot fathom your glory, cannot grasp the true nature of your transcendent self, which is beyond the cause and effect relation and the states of grossness and subtlety. How can we, the creatures of your Brahma, hope to extol thee adequately? So, how can we praise you? You are so great. People do not know your glory, that's why they criticize, but you are everything. You are the sun, moon, stars, everything. So, so this praise, what I am doing now, it is also inadequate. So he says that our inadequate praise is only an expression of our very limited powers. Huh? We cannot express the glory of you, O Lord Shiva. What we have said, it is just to express a little bit of our understand, our feelings. O great God, Lord Shiva, we see only this form of yours that you have revealed unto us. We are totally unaware of your transcendent state. But we know that you, who are the inscrutable ways, have assumed this form for the good of the world. So you have taken this form, Shiva form, for the good of humanity, for the good of all of us. So we cannot have enough words to praise you, plus, but this is our limited idea of expressing our inner feeling and emotions. Now, all this praise is what? To say, to pray to Shiva, oh Shiva, this poison, who will drink the poison? No one is able to have drank this poison. So you please come and you help us by consuming the poison so that we can get the nectar. See the selfishness. But anyhow, so now Shiva drinking the Kalakuta, that is described now, verse number 36 to 46. So we are reading now. Now this praise is done. All the devas went and they praised the Lord Shiva, saying that you are everything, you are all powerful, you are all compassionate, help us. And protect us from this poison. Now, Sri Shuka said, seeing the miserable condition of the devas, the merciful Lord Shiva, the friend and well-wisher of all, so he felt extremely pained and said as follows to his consort Sati. So Shiva told Mother Sati, seeing the miserable condition of these gods and in the asuras, the Lord Shiva said, O Bhavani, verse number 37, O Bhavani, see the pitiable plight of beings harassed by the poison of Kalakuta produced at the churning of the milk ocean. I have to give shelter to them in their effort to save themselves. They are all surrendered to me, so I will have to give shelter to them because they have refused, took refuge to me. Affording protection for the weak and suffering is the only object and justification of lordship. Shiva says to Mother Sati that no, to give protection to the weak and to remove the suffering, that is the only duty or justification of being your lordship. You are Lord, you are a powerful person, your power is to be utilized for the good of humanity. So Shiva is telling that to Mother Sati, that that is the duty of my lordship. I am the Lord. I am the Lord of all gods and goddesses. Therefore, my lordship will not say that I'm only Lord and do whatever I like, but it is fundamentally important to give protection and shelter and to support, remove the suffering of the subjects. 39. While being under the infatuation and infatuating power of the Lord, are ordinarily at discord with one another and are bent on mutual destruction. Normally that happens, that you have any powerful person, he fights with another powerful person. That is the way the destruction happens, mutual destruction. Both get affected by that. But the enlightened holy men who have realized the transitoriness of life seek only to give protection to other creatures, even at the expense of their own lives. So, beautiful ideology of being a Lord. Lord God is who is Lord. You are a boss. You are a powerful person. You have to give protection to the people who are suffering and give them, remove their afflictions and give them shelter. And particularly those who are enlightened person, their life is for the good of others only. The enlightened holy men who have realized the transitoriness of life, life is momentary, it is for today and tomorrow it will go. Those who have understand that type of enlightened people, they will seek to give protection to another creature. How? Even at the expense of his own lives. As people, they will die but give protection to others. As we find in present day example, Ramakrishna with the cancer, Holy Mother suffering so much, Vivekananda died in early age, but doing good to others, good to others. That is called the real lordship. Now, Soti, O noble lady, Sri Hari, the soul of all, is pleased with the person who shows kindship to beings. When Hari is pleased, I, along with all moving and unmoving beings feel released. So I am going to drink the poison. May all beings be saved by it. So she took permission from Mother Soti, Uma, said that this is the duty of lordship. So I am the lord of creation, Pashupati, Pashunang Pati. So all Pushu means the creation, I'm the Pati. What is the duty? Not only Pashupati means only I'm the Lord, but I have a duty. What is my duty? To take care of those who are afflicted, take shelter, give shelter to them, at the cost of one's own life also, if one should do, dedicate his life for the good of others. Therefore, O Soti, I am now going to save these people drinking their poison, poison of the halahala poison. The Sukadev said, speaking thus to Devi Bhavani, the Lord, who is the protector of the worlds, got ready to drink that poison with the approval of Mother Devi, who knew the Lord's power. If you drink the poison, what will happen? But Mother Soti, she knows this poison is nothing, it can be consumed by him. So, the poison with the approval of the Devi, who knew the Lord's power. Then Mahadeva, the protector of the worlds, collected the spreading poison of Kalakuta in his palm. So he held his palm and collected all the poison what was vomited by the Vasuki and drank it with a heart full of love and piety for all beings. This is the uniqueness of Lord Shiva's, it is called the Kalakuta, drinking of Kalakuta. Hala hala. What is that? All will enjoy their happiness, and Shiva is drinking the poison which no one can survive with it. The poison is born of the ocean, showed its destructive power even on these divine beings, the Lord of the worlds. It turned his throat blue, but it remained there only as a decoration, proclaiming his zeal in the welfare of others. So this is the beautiful, the power of Lord Shiva, that it didn't go down below the throat, Nilakantha. That's why beautiful. Some people go to Kedar Budri for pilgrimage. They can see the Nilakantha. Wonderful, grand, great. But he hold that in the neck. It is remain, it turned, as soon as he drank, the neck become, throat become blue, and it remained there only as a decoration, proclaiming his, what is it? It is to demonstrate that the zeal of the welfare of others. Shiva means all auspiciousness. Shiva means that the tremendous compassionate reality who is only for taking away the suffering of others. Like Krishna, Rama, they're all the same expression in human form. Devoted good men generally feel the suffering of others. Devoted good men generally feel the suffering of others as their own. Such fellow feeling for others is the highest form of worship of the Supreme Being, who is the soul of all. So, what is the way of serving the Supreme Being? Yeah, the fellow feeling. This is the, now we have to forget in this Kali Yuga, these ideals are all going away, Feeling for others, fellow feeling, sharing the suffering of others, that is called the duty of any good person. That ideal has been set here by drinking the poison by Lord Shiva. So he says that devoted good men generally feel the suffering, first point, of their own, as their own. Such fellow feeling for others, that is the highest form of worship. That is the Bhagavata Dharma. Uh, some people will be happy, someone is suffering, they will say, okay, let him suffer more. That is the Kali Yuga idea. But this Bhagavata Dharma is fellow feeling for others is the highest form of worship of the Supreme Being. Swami Vivekananda, what a beautiful, he, unselfishness is God. Give up your life for the good of others. You have spent many lives for your own pleasure or your own fulfillment. Let one life be dedicated for the good of others. Do it. That inspiration, the same. That's why we call Swami Vivekananda the living Shiva. And he drank the nectar of all, not nectar, the poison of all, every person's suffering. So he used to cry and weep so much. So here is Shiva's beautiful idea given in this verse by Shukadeva. On hearing about it, high encomiums were bestowed on this act of worshipful Sambhu, Lord of Lords by all beings, by Soti Devi, the daughter of Daksha, by Brahma and by Narayana, the Lord of Vaikuntha. The small portion of the poison which happened to fall from the Lord's hand while drinking was appropriated by scorpions, serpents, poisons, plants, and other poisonous creatures. So when he was taking the poison to drink, a little spilled out from his a small portion of the poison which happened to fall from the hands while drinking was appropriated, distributed among the scorpions, serpents. That's a scorpion biting. It's so painful. That poison, part of the poison, serpent biting, people go to die. Poisonous plants like, what is called uh, Kiyok, Kiyok, what is the oak? Another oak. The poisonous oak. The poisonous plants and other poisonous creatures. So he drank the most of the poison and he hold that throat and a blue throat because of that. But while drinking, a little spilled out of his palm, and that has been shared, taken by scorpion, snake, and then poisonous plants and other poisonous creatures in this one. So this is the end of the chapter 7 of book number 8. Sorry, at the beginning we got stuck because of our internet problems. So
is it that because of that? Is it that because Shiva, Divine Mother's name, that is why he was.
Maybe so. That is when the mother. These are all Puranic stories. You can glorify hundreds of ways. Hundreds of ways.
Second line.
So because it is Devadeva Mahadev Jataran Nirutai. Yeah. So yes, it is Devadeva Mahadev. He is there to take away our sins. That's why Shiva, Rama, Krishna, they are all waiting for us. And he's teaching that what should be done by others to feel for others' suffering and to share that and to come in the prayer for doing anything good to anyone. That will be the life's goal, like Shiva nature to inculcate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. So we ended the chapter 7. book number 8.7. We have read. We have read means we read the verses only because it's all description up to verse number 46. That is the end of the chapter 7. We will start the chapter 8 next day on page 327. Om, peace, peace, peace. Thank you all, and God bless us all.
7:30 class.
7:30 is our Setar Upanishad class at 7:30. Hope to see you then. Jai Ma.